You probably know the blue whale is the biggest animal on Earth, but that's a huge understatement. It's not just the largest animal alive today. Scientists are pretty sure it's the largest animal that has ever existed on this planet. Think about that for a second. We've had dinosaurs, giant sharks, mammoths, all sorts of incredible beasts over billions of years, but none of them come close. What's even more mind-blowing is that the blue whale isn't just a little bit bigger. It's roughly twice as heavy as the next largest animal in history. It completely shatters the record. How is that even possible? For a long time, this was a real mystery, even for experts. How did one species become so ridiculously massive, outgrowing everything else that came before it? To really grasp this, let's start with the basics. The longest blue whale ever measured was about 33 meters, or 108 feet. That's like lining up 3 city buses end to end. As for weight, they can reach up to 250 tons. That's heavier than the Statue of Liberty. Their heart alone is the size of a small car. Their tongue can weigh as much as an elephant. And the sounds they make are so powerful they can travel across entire ocean basins, making them one of the loudest animals on the planet. So, how did they get this way? The story begins in a very unexpected place, on land, about 50 million years ago, in what is now Pakistan. Here lived a small, wolf-sized mammal called Pachycetus. Believe it or not, this creature was one of the earliest ancestors of all modern whales. Over millions of years, its descendants spent more and more time in the water. They gradually evolved, their bodies changing to suit an aquatic life. Eventually, this lineage split into 2 major groups, the toothed whales, like dolphins and orcas, and the baleen whales. Baleen whales were a game changer. Instead of teeth, they developed special bristle-like plates in their mouths made of keratin, the same stuff as our fingernails. These plates act like giant sieves, allowing them to filter huge amounts of tiny organisms, like krill and small fish, directly from the water. This was a revolutionary way to eat, but the real leap toward gigantism came much later, around 10 million years ago, with the evolution of a new group of baleen whales called rorquals. This group includes blue whales, fin whales, and humpbacks. Rorquals developed a unique feature, extremely flexible jaws and expandable throat grooves that run from their chin all the way down their belly. This anatomy allows them to perform a spectacular feeding technique called lunge feeding. A rorqual whale will accelerate towards a dense patch of food, open its mouth to nearly 90 degrees, and engulf an enormous volume of water and prey, sometimes a volume larger than its own body. Then, it uses its massive tongue to push the water out through its baleen plates, trapping all the food inside. It's an incredibly effective, all-or-nothing way to eat. For millions of years, rorquals were successful, but they weren't giants yet. The world had to change first, and about 5 million years ago, it did, dramatically. Global climate shifts and changes in ocean currents caused a phenomenon called upwelling to become much stronger and more widespread. Upwelling is when deep, cold, nutrient-rich water rises to the surface. These nutrients are like fertilizer for the ocean, and they triggered massive blooms of phytoplankton, tiny marine plants. This created a chain reaction up the food web. More phytoplankton meant more zooplankton, which in turn meant explosive growth in populations of krill and small schooling fish. For the rorqual whales, this was like hitting the jackpot. The oceans were suddenly filled with incredibly dense, concentrated patches of food. Their lunge feeding strategy, which is only efficient when prey is super abundant, suddenly became the most effective way to eat in the ocean. With this unlimited buffet, their body sizes began to explode. Natural selection was in full force. The bigger a whale was, the more water it could gulp, the more food it could capture in a single lunge, and the more energy it could store. Bigger was simply better. But this still doesn't explain why the blue whale outgrew all the other rorquals. The final piece of the puzzle is their specialized diet. While other rorquals eat a mix of krill, fish, and other small crustaceans, blue whales became extreme specialists. They feed almost exclusively on krill, and krill, though tiny, form swarms so dense they can be seen from space. A single one of these swarms can contain trillions of individuals. For a blue whale, a single mouthful can deliver hundreds of kilograms of these energy-rich crustaceans. This specialized diet is tied to their lifestyle. Krill are most abundant during specific seasons in cold, polar waters. So, blue whales have a feast and famine cycle. They spend a few months in the icy waters of the Arctic or Antarctic, feeding almost non-stop and packing on immense layers of blubber. they are storing energy. Then, they undertake one of the longest migrations of any mammal, traveling thousands of miles to warmer, tropical waters to breed and give birth. During this long journey and their time in the tropics, they eat very little, surviving almost entirely on the fat reserves they built up. This is where size becomes a massive advantage. A larger body can store more energy, allowing for longer migrations and more time in the breeding grounds without needing to feed. A larger body is also more efficient for traveling long distances. And, of course, a larger mouth allows for more efficient feeding during the short feasting season. Evolution pushed them into a feedback loop. A specialized diet of superabundant krill allowed them to get bigger, and getting bigger made them even better at exploiting that food source and surviving their epic migrations. So, it wasn't one single thing. It was a perfect storm of evolutionary events unfolding over millions of years: the development of baleen, the innovation of lunge feeding, a changing planet that supercharged the oceans with nutrients, and a highly specialized diet on an incredibly abundant food source. All these factors combined to create the largest creature our world has ever known. Unfortunately, the story doesn't end there. Their colossal size made them a prime target for the whaling industry in the 20th century. They were hunted so relentlessly that they were pushed to the very brink of extinction. By the 1960s, it's estimated that over 99% of the blue whale population was gone. Although an international ban on hunting has allowed their numbers to slowly recover, they are still an endangered species. Today, they face new threats. Climate change is altering ocean temperatures and affecting krill populations. Pollution fills their ocean home, and ship strikes and entanglement in fishing gear remain constant dangers. The fact that the largest animal in the 4.5 billion-year history of Earth is alive today, swimming in our oceans right now, is truly incredible. It's a living testament to the power of evolution. Whether it remains a part of our world depends on us and how well we protect our oceans for the future. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into the world of giants as fascinating as I did, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the wonders of our natural world. See you next time.